Hello folks, welcome to Path Bar School and a brand new series we're looking at involving coffee cocktails. Today we're going to take a look at the modern classic, the Espresso Martini. We're going to break it down into its constituent parts, work on that DNA and build it back up into a more modern version that accentuates the beautiful coffee and works with the fantastic Ketel vodka from Schiedam in the Netherlands, which we say has the fragrance, flavor, feel and finish of a beautiful vodka for mixed drinks. Now, as we take a look at the Espresso Martini, we need to break it down into its constituent parts. It has essentially three things: a sweetening ingredient, good coffee, and vodka. And as coffee is the one flavor ingredient, we should make sure that coffee is as good as we can get. Now, coffee can be a particularly tricky organic compound to work with. Most restaurants I've worked in don't have a dedicated barista, so pulling a shot that is both balanced in terms of acidity and sweetness, and also consistent can be very, very hard. Ideally, we were using something fantastic like an Arabica coffee, pulled between 16 and 18 grams of ground coffee going in and 32 and 36 grams of coffee coming out in liquid weight. But that's not necessarily always the case. So what we want to be doing is augmenting that coffee with a sweetener and our vodka to essentially make what is tantamount to a fortified cold coffee. If we break this cocktail down even further, we can look at what each ingredient lends to the drink. Our vodka gives a creamy texture and allows us to fortify the cocktail while still having a neutral base through which we can celebrate that coffee. The coffee gives sweetness and acidity and body and depth, and then the sugar is going to round all that out with some sweetness and texture. So let's get to building our Espresso Martini. Breaking with tradition, I'm actually going to use a more expensive ingredient first. Of course, I'm going to chill down my glass before we start. By putting the vodka in first, what we're going to do is allow ourselves to chill down that hot espresso when it's come straight out of the group head. So I'm going to add 50 ml of beautiful Ketel One. Ketel One is a vodka that has notes of anise, citrus, black pepper, and it has a beautiful texture that is creamy and lends itself very well to a modern classic such as the Espresso Martini. Next, I'm going to add 50 ml of our 1:1 sugar syrup. And then finally, our freshly brewed espresso. It's about 45 ml with 50 ml being the crema on top. I'm just going to measure that out. Now that crema is very, very important. It's full of surfactants and adjuncts that are going to help give that beautiful meniscal head that we know oh so well and help support the garnish that goes on the top of our Espresso Martini. So let's shake this up, double strain it and get it into our glass. I'm going to add as much fresh ice as possible and get to shaking. You're looking to excessively aerate the drink, you're looking to wake it up, you're looking to give it a huge amount of aeration. That aeration is going to help us when we strain it into the glass and going to help support our garnish later. If we double strain by dropping the basket right into the bottom of the glass and then delicately expressing the drink in there. As it settles, much like a nitrogenated stout, you should see the drink clear up from being a beautiful golden hue to being that dark coffee color we know oh so well. Finally, the garnish that goes on the top of this drink traditionally is 3 coffee beans. I would like to suggest that maybe with this cocktail, we just grate some fresh coffee on there. That's going to give it a nose of freshly ground coffee that we know so well from cafes around the world. By grating nice fresh coffee across the top of our Espresso Martini, we're negating the need for people to push coffee beans around the glass and pull them out of their teeth as they drink it. Thank you very much, folks. This has been the classic Espresso Martini with Ketel One vodka, and I'll see you next time.